Today we're gonna pick our January TBR. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna pick our January TBR, and I'm going to do this in a really unique way this month. This is something that I've never tried before. I want to use Fable Scout to see what it picks for me for the month of January. I have no clue if this is gonna work. This video is gonna go live, whether it's a flop or not. I'm curious what it will pick for me, what we can put on our TBR for January. I'm hoping it's going to be things within my genre. I'm hoping that it's going to be things that I want to read, but there's really no telling. It could send me out on a path that I've never been on before and books that I've never heard of. And that's a little scary, but a part of this is exciting because I do always enjoy finding books that usually aren't recommended on BookTok, maybe books that have been around for longer than the last few years, and I want to find some 5-star reads that I wouldn't have expected. So let's jump into it. Let's find your next read. I'm sure there's some prompts that we should be using in order to do this. I've never seen anybody do this before. I'm not saying that people haven't done it before. I'm just saying that I have not physically watched people do this before. So I'm not really sure what I need to do. So maybe I prompt it. So help me find 6 books to read in the month of January based off of my interests, past reads, ratings, and want to read. No, I'm just gonna say and lists. Lists/shelves. Please do not include books I have already finished or DNF. All right, let's see what it does. Hi there, I'm Scout, Fable's in-house curator. Full disclosure, I'm an AI agent in beta, which means I'm still finding my wings. If you're game to help me improve, just let me know what you're in the mood for. I'm best at finding books based on criteria like topics, tropes, mood, character. Okay, so this may be too specific what I'm sending. It sounds like, I don't know. Let's see what Scout does. It's a flop. I'm afraid I don't know of any books that match that request. Try searching for something else and I'll see what I can find. Hopefully at least one of those was helpful. Now what should we look for next? Look for new books. New books, exciting. What can I find you? Find books with enemies to lovers tropes, including fantasy, romantasy, or romance. Okay, that typed terribly. We might have to do this one book at a time. Here are some books you might be interested in. Serpents and the Wings of Night, A Kingdom of Venom and Vows, Ever King, The Modern Girl's Guide to Magic, The Witch Collector, Gothicana, Mountains Made of Glass, The Cruel Prince, Kingdom of the Wicked, The Coven. Okay, so we're gonna pick the books that I already own. So we're gonna pick The Coven, we're gonna pick The Cruel Prince, we are going to pick The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And now, let's see, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. So I own 3, and then we need to pick 3 that we don't own. Let's read A Kingdom of Venom and Vows. War rages in a game between queens, and I have become their pawn, but I will fight for my life for my mate, and he will raise kingdoms to get me back. Okay. Ever King. He's vicious, but he will take back what he lost, no matter the price, unless she steals his heart first. The Modern Girl's Guide to Magic. And definitely don't fall for Callan Hawthorne, the sexy billionaire mage who you've hated for years. So how the heck do I end up with a situation that promises to break all those rules? The Witch Collector. Highly, highly recommended for anyone who loves fantasy romance, fantasy with strong female leads, unique magic systems, and beautiful writing. That's interesting. Gothicana. And so begins a tale of the mysterious, the macabre, and a deep love that blossoms in the unlikeliest of places. Mountain Made of Glass. Mountains Made of Glass is a dark, seductive fairy tale retelling perfect for adult romantasy fans who crave enemies to lovers tension and high-stakes desire. Kingdom of the Wicked. Devastated Amelia sets out to find her sister's killer and to seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means dark magic that's been long forbidden. Okay, I will say I'm interested in Mountains Made of Glass and The Witch Collector. So then that means Gothicana is going to be next pick. Next. Hope that was helpful. I'm all set. I hope we found your next read. Could you give me some feedback before you go? How likely are you to recommend me to a friend? Very likely. Thanks. Okay, they were added to my want to read list, so we're gonna go back into want to read since we ran through that really fast. Gothicana is forced proximity and forbidden romance. It's by the author Runix, which we are supposed to be reading Enigma this month for our December TBR by that same author. It was released in 2023, and it says, the eternal romance of Beauty and the Beast meets the gothic suspense of Dracula, in this erotic, dark academia story of epic love from best-selling author. I didn't know it was defined as erotic. I don't know if I've read anything like that before. An unusual girl, an enigmatic man, an ancient castle, what could go wrong? An outcast her entire life, Corvina Clem is left adrift after losing her mother. When she receives the admission letter from the mysterious University of Virenmore, she accepts it as a sign from the universe. The last thing she expects, though, is an old, secluded castle on top of a mountain riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. An enigma is his entire life. Vad Deverell likes being a closed book, but knowing exactly everything that happens in the university, a part-time professor working on his thesis, Vad has been around long enough to know that the dangers the castle possesses, and he knows the moment his path crosses with Corvina, she's dangerous to everything that he is. Okay, dark erotic academia. I actually don't know if I'm prepared for that. So that is going to be book number 1. Book number 2 that was picked is called The Witch Collector. It's number 1 of the Witch Walker series. It's tagged as adventurous. Tropes are enemies to lovers, enforced proximity. Was released in 2021, and it says, every harvest moon, the Witch Collector rides into our valley and leads one of us to the home of the immortal Frost King to remain forever. Today is that day, collecting day. But he will not come for me. I, Raina Bloodgood, have lived in this village for 24 years, and for 24 years, he has passed me by. His mistake. Raina Bloodgood has one desire, kill the Frost King and the Witch Collector who stole her sister. On collecting day, she means to exact murderous revenge, but a more sinister threat sets fire to her world. Rising from the ashes is the Collector, Alexis Thibault. Thibault? The man she vowed to slay and the only person who can help save her sister. The Witch Collector is a book 1 in a thrilling romantic fantasy series perfect for fans of Naomi Novik, Sarah J. Maas, and Jennifer L. Armentrout. There are 4 books. It looks like 1 is not released, 1 is a novella, and book 1 and book 2 are out. Interesting. Okay, 3rd book, Mountains Made of Glass by Scarlett St. Clair. This book's tropes is enemies to lovers, enforced proximity. It's marked adventurous, dark fantasy, a 3.5 overall rating. Looks like a shorter book. Released in 2023, and it says, the unbreakable curse, an impossible wager, one chance at freedom. If love can break the spell. A cursed fate haunts the village of Elk, and when Gessela is chosen to face the monstrous toad at the bottom of the well, she expects a fight for her life. Instead, she uncovers an elven prince beneath the curse, and killing him draws the wrath of his immortal brothers. Banished to a mysterious glass mountain, I'm going to just say Jezela. Jezela meets the beast, exquisite, dangerous, and nothing like she imagined. He offers her a deal. If she can guess his true name in 7 days, she will win her freedom. The catch, she must speak it with genuine love or risk being lost to the curse forever. So it looks like there are 2 books in this series. First one is Mountains Made of Glass. Book 2 is Apples Dripped in Gold. They are fairy tale retellings. Drawing on classic fairy tales like Beauty and the Beast and Rumpelstiltskin, Scarlett St. Clair delivers a fast-paced atmospheric romance filled with poetic writing and emotional vulnerability. I love that. Emotional vulnerability and poetic writing. So I'm excited for that one. Okay, so we do own The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. It is adventurous dark fantasy, and the tropes are enemies to lovers and forced proximity. January is going to be full of forced proximity, it seems. This one is much longer than the others, and it was released in 2022. Human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king, Oriah, carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajara, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. So, games. But winning won't be easy amongst the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Oriah is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Oriah most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. The Serpent and the Wings of Night is the first book, a new series of heart-wrenching romance, dark magic, and bloodthirsty intrigue, perfect for fans of From Blood and Ash and A Court of Thorns and Roses. And this is Crowns of the Nyaxa series. So Serpent and the Wings of Night is book 1. Then we have 6 Scorched Roses, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, The Slaying of the Vampire Conqueror, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, and then The Fallen and The Kiss of Dusk. Sorry, these covers, their text is hard to read because it's not in a very good hierarchy. That's the graphic designer in me speaking. Oh, and there's a book 5, The Lion and the Deathless Dark. Holy. So seems as if January is also going to be about starting series that we didn't need to start. We didn't finish the ones we started already. Okay, so that is book 4. Book 5 is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This one is tagged Adventurous Fantasy, 3.93 rating on Fable. Tropes are enemies to lovers. It was released in 2018 and says, this is the first book in a stunning new series about a mortal girl who finds herself caught in a web of royal fairy intrigue. Of course, I want to be like them. They're beautiful as blades forged in some divine fire. They will live forever. And Carden is even more beautiful than the rest. I hate him more than all the others. I hate him so much that sometimes when I look at him, I can hardly breathe. So it's Jude and Carden. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of male main characters in fantasy books. Why do they all got to be so silly? This is the Folk of the Air series, and it looks like there are 5 books total. Cruel Prince is book 1. The Lost Sisters is book 1.5. The Wicked King, book 2. The Queen of Nothing, book 3. How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories, book 3.5. I think I have one. I might have book 1, 2, and 3. I don't think I have 1.5 or 3.5. That's okay. All right, moving on to The Coven. We got this, I think we got this over the summer. Used, dark. You will have seen it in our TBR cart tour. I'll link that up above. Dark, mysterious fantasy. This one has been on a TBR before, so I'm not really going to go over the whole thing, but we didn't get to it. We didn't get to this book, so it went back onto the TBR cart. Oops. Enemies to Lovers, Force, Proximity, and Forbidden Romance, released in 2023. One of the shorter books for sure. The Coven is a sexy, deliciously imaginative fantasy romance where the magician meets Ninth House with vampires. I haven't read any of those. But it does seem that we've got The Coven, The Cursed, and I'm pretty sure The Damned just came out. This is not all of the books in the series. Okay, so that was book 6. So that is going to wrap up the January TBR. I do only pick 6 for January so that I could fit in some other books that are going to be on other TBR lists and leave some room for mood reading if I see fit. Let me know if you've read any of those books. Let me know what you thought of them. Let me know what was your favorite book. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I'm really excited to start the new year with something fresh and interesting. If it turns out that we really like these books, I would love to use Scout to be able to pick my books in the future. I think that's such a cool tool that Fable offers, and I'm curious to see what else it would recommend me for another TBR. So if you like this video, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I am updating next. I really appreciate you guys coming in, watching the videos, and spending time here. It is really helpful for me as I grow my channel, and I hope that you find this content fun and helpful. Our next video is going to be a December reading wrap up, so make sure you stick around and subscribe to see what I thought of those books. I hope everyone had a really great holiday. I hope you are all ready for the new year, and let me know some of your goals down below, what you're looking forward to in 2026 and what you plan to read. I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you later. Bye!